when Rem Sequence gets into the kitchen to make one of my favourite baked treats. What is that you say? That is called fucking gingerbread. So, I've lost, that pan looks a little funky, but I'm sure it'll be okay. I've lost my old recipe that I used to use, but I've got this new one, and it's okay. It will work. It will suffice for today. So I was going to build a gingerbread house, and then I thought, fuck that. I do not have the energy or patience for that kind of shit today. So we're just going to make some Christmas cookies. So shall we get started? I'm not used to talking through this, so this feels kind of odd for me to do. So got the stove on, because what we need to do first is to melt the golden syrup, the brown sugar, golden syrup, brown sugar, and the butter. We need to melt it together. So we're going to get it into the pot. So we need 100 grams of butter, and luckily for us, they write the amount on the label. I'm going to turn that down. So then we can kind of just cut it and put it in the thing. I don't keep my knobs on the stove because of the dogs. One day I came home and somebody who shall remain nameless, Griffin, had jumped up on the stove and decided to turn it on and burn the house down. So to stop that, we don't do that anymore. They stay in the cupboard like this is a house for toddlers. Alright, so 100 grams of butter, and then we've got 3 tablespoons of golden syrup. And look, this is me baking. I don't measure things out with any degree of, accuracy, which is probably why, sometimes a recipe tastes good, sometimes it tastes like shit. You never know what you're gonna get. Okay, so that's the golden syrup. Ugh, sticky. Alright, and then 100 grams of brown sugar, and I always forget how much 100 grams is. And then I'll fucking go to do it, and I'll be like, oh, I don't think that's quite the amount we're looking for. Let's start by opening up the bag of brown sugar, shall we? I have more in the cupboard, but why not get some fresh out? 100 grams is about half a cup, I think. I can't even read the label. Quarter of a cup, that is. I use my measuring cups for other things. Just a half a cup. So we'll kind of just put that in there. I've got the stove on, and it smells like burning, which is right. What we want. So we're going to put it on the stove, and we're just going to melt that down slowly, not burn it. Rem, can we not burn it? That would be rad. All right, now we need to get. Ooh, that was not clever. We need to get our dry ingredients into the bowl so that we can add this melted stuff once it's melted. My other recipe had eggs, and you'd kind of beat the eggs in with the golden syrup, but clearly we're not doing that today. So for dry ingredients, we've got 125 grams of plain flour, and I equate that to about 5. Because here's the thing, when you're making gingerbread and you're rolling it out, then you kind of have to add flour to it anyway. So even if we're under on the dry, we add the flour when we're rolling it. You get what I'm saying here, G? Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Now we need some teaspoons for all the spices. Okay, so we need half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. Why do I have so much bicarb soda? Well, went through a phase of making bath bombs, so you need bicarb for that. Just stir that butter mixture a little bit. Just getting that. Okay, so that was the bicarb. Ginger. Need 1 tablespoon of ginger. How random is that? Out with another trusty, accurate measuring device. 1 tablespoon of ginger. That's how we get it off the sides, people. It is gingerbread, so I guess, 1 tablespoon is quite reasonable. Okay, 1 tablespoon of ginger. And we have a teaspoon of cinnamon. I've lost the lid of that one, so that's cool. Okay, teaspoon of cinnamon. Ha 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 ha. That looked like a heck of a lot more than a teaspoon, but that's alright. This is Baking with Rem. Yeah. Alright. So make sure that doesn't get too hot. So I've got the mixture in there. That's going to help put all this shit together. And once we combine it all together, then it'll be time to get set up for the rolling and the cutting of the biscuits. I know, it is rather exciting. Yeah, and that butter's pretty much melted. So, I'm going to make a little well in the middle and put the wet ingredients in. Wet in with the dry. Adding the wet to the dry to make it more wet. Get your mind out the gutter. We're making gingerbread. Not something else. Alright, so combine this together to make dough. 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 Works quick, doesn't it? Yup. Dough. Look at that. Fucking rad. Alright, so now we're going to clean up a bit so we can get the space ready for the cutting of the biscuits. Yeah? Alright, we'll be back in like a couple minutes. A few moments later. As you can see, we've got our stuff now. I'm only using, we're doing gingerbread and stars. I have a lot of Christmas cookie cutters, let's just say. But yeah, I like the star and I like the gingerbread man. Cause they're fun to decorate. 190 degrees Celsius. And I think it goes in for about 10 minutes, but I always have to kind of judge it depending on how thick I cut these. Because it gets random. Shit gets random here sometimes. So going on the baking paper on the tray, obviously to be baked. Sometimes I roll stuff thin, sometimes I roll it thick. It depends what I feel like. If I feel like things being thick or thin. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you like the thinness because it's easier to eat, but then sometimes you might like a bit more juicy thickness in your biscuits. Yeah? You know what I'm saying. Sometimes you want a bit more of a hearty meal in your biscuit, which is very cool. Now, what is always my problem is my trays are never quite big enough to handle one batch. My tray just, even though my oven could probably take a bigger size tray, my actual trays aren't big enough, if you get my drift. Alright, let's put the dough back together so then we can roll it out again and cut some more. I was a huge Play-Doh freak as a kid. Loved it. Loved it! And as you can see, I still love rolling dough. I just like kneading things with my hands and getting my hands in there. Get your mind out the gutter. Trying to do some wholesome baking here. And all you can think about is my hands in crazy places, which are very unwholesome. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This dough still is warm, so this is quite nice to touch. I'm gonna make a bit more room on these trays because I kind of feel like I'm going to be baking all day with this just one batch if we don't do that. Alright. Oh. Yeah. Dough. Dough is rad, I reckon. No, the oven's still going. I'm like, what? Something clicked behind me, but then I've got the snake light there that clicks on and off when it gets too hot or too cold. It is it has a thermostat that is responsive to the temperatures in the room. in the terrarium. Yes. And if a bit more heat is required, then it switches the red light on. I think that's just what it did. Although it does feel very hot in here, I gotta say I am super sweaty spaghetti. Alright, we're getting to the end of this dough. Getting close, eh? Oh, there's a handful. Boom. Okay. Alright. Relax, guy. Getting to the end. The end is coming. Although there is the baking to do, so there still is that. And yeah, like I said, it's like 15 to 20 minutes, just depending on how thick, how much cooking there needs to go on in here. You know. Got to the end of the trays now, so that little gingerbread man's gonna have to sit there. Now, these guys, don't mind me, I just need to do some adjustments over here. Adjust our cookies. So to maybe fit these last ones on, because that would suck if we need to just cook a batch of like one cookie. That would suck balls, and not in the best way. It would be quite annoying. Not pleasurable. Annoying. Alright. So the oven still hasn't gone yet. You know what I mean? It hasn't done the clickety click of the saying, we're hot enough now to have your cookies in us. What am I going to do last? I'm counting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do we do a gingerbread man last or a star? We've got 9 gingerbread men and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 9 stars as well. Jesus. It is, that's annoying. I like evenness sometimes when things are kind of evenly distributed. Okay, so just got a little bit of dough, and I don't think that's going to fit any of these guys. So I'm just going to knead it with my fingers for like 2 seconds and then eat it. Like that. Just like that. Alright, so what now, you ask? Well, these are going to be baked. Time to be advised. How long? And then after baking, I'm going to decorate them. Usually decorate with icing sugar. And I've got lots of lollies this year to put on them, so that will be cool. Stay tuned for that. Yummy.